I'm trying to set up the YouTube live. It's going towards that. And I will send you a URL. You please check up. Somebody can check up from a different machine or phone uh, whether it is working there. I'll just share in the chat. And then Hitesh can tell us as to how do we inform others who may not join here but may want to join there. Okay, friends, our YouTube link is working fine. So, but Hitesh will tell us. Uh, Vipul, if you can send this link to Hitesh. Vipul,
Yes,
can you hear me?
sure, sure.
Yeah,
He's
if you
not
can.
picking up the phone.
Okay, you can send this to him by WhatsApp and tell him to tell us how to inform people to join from that. Those who cannot come to the meeting, they can join from there. Vipul, I will make you a co-admin, co-host.
Let us introduce ourselves, because is it
Good evening, everyone. I'm Advocate Mayappan from Tamil Nadu. I've been associated with the humanist movement since, say, 2007 onwards, and I'm a member of the Humanist Party of India and the International Humanist Party also. And I'm here, to be an active observer rather than, give my opinion without having gone through the entire documents, if they are available, if any. So I will be actively observing this session. Thank you.
okay? Thank you. I am Lakshman from Kerala. I'm a member of the Humanist movement. working in Humanist Party for last 2 years. I joined the Humanist movement in 1986 onwards. Thank you. Abuka. Chandra, please. You are muted.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Chandra. I'm associated with Humanist movement for more than 2 decades. I closely worked with Lineage Seth, whom many of you must be knowing. Though for the past around 3 years, I was not in touch. So I looked at today's message and I thought of reconnecting and understanding this issue, what we are all today here to discuss. Thank you.
Oh, very interesting. Good. You are staying where are you?
Mumbai.
Oh, Mumbai. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, this is Vipul. I am a member of the Humanist Party of India, and thanks to Lakshman, we have taken this initiative of organizing various events. Thanks to Sudhir also for organizing this event. Thank you.
Shankar Bhai, please introduce.
How are you?
Hi.
Now, I am Gandhinagar, Gujarat. You can see this photo.
Ah.
Hello, Shankar Dayal Sharma. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Please introduce yourself, each and every person.
Yeah. So I am Ashutosh from Pune, and I am a member of the Humanist Party of India. I'm happy to be here, and I welcome Faize from Iran.
Hello, I'm Faize from Iran. I like this here, Matt. Now. I understand your parole. I don't speak English well.
You are a member of the Humanist movement. How many years?
Yeah.
Recently joined?
How many years? 59 years ago. I'm 59.
59.
Yes.
Hello everyone, I am Rajesh Seth from Bombay. I am a retired banker and insolvency professional, and I also joined Humanist movement in 1983. Since this is an economy related subject, I thought it will be interesting discussion to hear and the analysis. Thank you.
Hello, I am Gangadharan in Kerala, working Humanist Party.
Hello, Gangadhar.
Hello. Jacob ji.
Hello, I am Jacob Seri, Trichure, Kerala, working in Humanist Party of India.
Hello, everyone. My throat is bad. You may not be able to hear me clearly. I'm Rukaiya Joshi from Mumbai. and my association with Humanist Movement is from 2002, and I work for World Without Wars and Violence.
Rupesh, allow me to say that if with your bad throat, your voice is so nice, then without the bad throat, you will beat Lata Mangeshkar and Asha Bhosle and all of them.
I'm barely able to speak, so this even one word is hurting me right now. It's so bad.
No, please relax. Please relax. We could hear you fine.
Thank you.
Dr. Abu.
I am Babu Kudula. I am from Kerala, Kottayam. I know this Pradeep from Kannur and also this Gangadharan from Kannur. And I have invited one P.T. John. He is very much associate with this Tikkayat, this Punjab. He is a agricultural leader, P.T. John. He is now, I have given this link to him. He is in Wayanad, Kozhikode, Wayanad, and he says that he has some contact with our Chandrababu and Gangadharan and Pradeep also. And he will join now. Okay.
Very nice to hear that, sir. Thank you.
Baleshan from Kannur.
I am Mr. Abu from Kerala, associated with the Convergence of Cultures organism. Professionally, my job is making your smiles more beautiful. Thank you.
I am Dayanand from Kerala. I am now in World Without War and Violence, and I joined the movement in 1980. Thank you.
Our Ravindran Apuni, he is participating from Delhi. He was an old member. Please introduce Ravindran sir. Hello, Ravindran sir. Sarla madam and Deepangar Dasgupta ji.
Hello, I'm Sarla from Pune. I write poetry and I'm an archaeologist. And from last 2 years, we are reading silos. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Poetry in which language? English or?
Marathi and Hindi Urdu.
Oh, wonderful.
Deepangar Dasgupta ji. Hello, can you introduce? Pradeep ji, Babu.
Hi, I am
Can you
Pradeep.
hear me?
Please carry on, please.
Hello. Yes, greetings from Kolkata. I am based in Kolkata. So this is an important issue. So we should all participate in the discussion and find out the ways to counter the US move of corporatization and endangering our food security. I was a journalist and I retired from US Embassy. So now I'm working full time for my writing, and I write on food related issues
food security, diversity of food, culture, and all that. So I'm very keenly interested to listen to your discussion and enrich myself. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
নমস্কার দীপাঙ্কর দাদা, খুব ভালো হলো আপনি এসেছেন।
Thank you.
Nice to have you.
Hello. I am Pradeepan from Kerala. I belong to World Without War and Violence. That's all. I am seriously looking for your discussion. Actually, this is a totally corporate-oriented issue, pact. It's not only a bilateral, but it's a convenient pact only. So it is involved in more economic violence and structural violence. So I think this discussion give more clarity about this. Even Indian government, even without giving any much information regarding these issues. So everybody is in doubt. What is it? What is going on? What is it? Even in these issues, like Trump is more is a prime minister of the world. So he is declared everything in his capital of Washington. So so we cannot accept such a authoritarian things in a behavior, in administrative level, in all levels. Thank you.
Hello, Arshish. Can you introduce yourself? You've come at the right time.
Okay. My name is Harshesh Parekh. I am working for Humanist Party. I think that should be good enough.
By the way, we
Chandrababu.
are on YouTube. So let me introduce myself, friends. I am Sudhir Gandotra. I coordinate the activities of the World Humanist Forum Asia, and my other activities is I just got a message from Dr. Devinder that in his area there is a power off. He's waiting for the power to come, so it may take a little while, 5-10 minutes, whatever. He'll join, but till that time we will continue. So in my role of giving the basic introduction of this issue and why are we here without being an expert on this issue, but from the humanist experience, this agreement, which is not yet signed, but the framework has been prepared and both sides seem to have agreed to the points, is basically farmers against everybody else, the industry. Already farmers in India are suffering the way the food industry and the political system is exploiting them. This evening, I was talking with an expert who told me that the large companies, the food making companies, they make everything from the food that farmers grow. The farmers do not get even the cost of their raw material, forget the full cost and the profit and all. But each of these companies are making a quarterly profit to the tune of 30,000 crores and more. So now the thing is that the whole big corporate mafia of the world is wanting to take over this sector in the name of exporting the farm goods from America, which means shifting the whole production to America and the profits. This would not need any laws which they brought few years back to kill the farming, and the farmers and their livelihood would be finished. Everybody is against it. And today we are going to have Dr. Devinder Sharma, an expert on agricultural issues, whose views are known as the most sensible from India, and he's popular across the world. He'll be joining us and we'll have some more of our speakers to speak on this. Due to power cut, he will take a little while to join us. But in the meanwhile, the others can give their views. For example, Dr. Ashutosh can give his views. Lakshmanan can give from the political party point of view, and the others can speak from their point of view. Rukaiya ji may not be able to talk. Her throat is in bad shape. So perhaps Pradeepan will talk from the World Without War point of view. Chandrababu can tell us about the community point of view, how this is causing different kinds of violence, and why, as humanists, we are not in favor of such laws, such agreements. Thank you very much. So can we start with Dr. Ashutosh?
Thank you, Sudhirji. Um, I have to make only a few points from the point of view of the Humanist Party. We believe that the system is moving towards its very big crisis, and that is signified by concentration of power in fewer and fewer and fewer hands. And this particular US India trade deal is an example of this, because it is not even our prime minister, but it is the president of US who has taken all the powers in his hands to dictate trade terms to us. And our prime minister is not taking the public into confidence. Our government has not taken us into confidence. It is only when some agreement has been reached between Trump and the Modi government that some details have come out for us to know. So this itself shows how people have been kept in the dark. And this, the reason, of course, is that Trump and the people who are supporting, or the forces who are supporting him, want to concentrate the economic power in their hands. And they want to dictate how trade will be carried out in the rest of the world. And this necessarily unleashes economic violence where interests of a large sections of India's population, namely the farmers, are going to be compromised. So this is an example of economic violence, and this has to be therefore resisted by all of us, including, of course, the farmers. And we have to make sure that these trade terms are not acceptable. Now, the second thing that has happened in the form of this trade deal is, and it has been happening for quite some years now, and that is the so-called globalization is quietly being buried. The so-called globalization was to promote open and freer trade among nations with lowering of tariff barriers so that more and more people would be able to export what they are good at and import what others are good at. And this way, the whole earth would have experienced prosperity. That's the promise or dream that was sold to us. It was not going to happen, but that was the dream that was sold to us. And now we find that instead of open and free trade, we are having these regional or bilateral trade agreements. And these bilateral trade agreements, in that sense, are taking away our strategic autonomy of the country, of the people to make decisions for themselves, because Trump has shown that trade can be weaponized, trade can be used as a weapon. And he is using it as a weapon by raising tariff and by making sure that his geopolitical interests are served by forcing us to accept those terms of trade. So, in that sense, he is weaponizing trade, and that is happening more and more today. The of course, the other thing is how the farmers are going to be hit. Dr. Devinder Sharma is going to talk, so I will not go into that aspect. But the point is that his insistence that we stop buying oil from Russia has to be exploited by us by turning to renewable energy sources. And if we see the current situation in renewable energy sources, we find that China has moved ahead of the rest of the world by leaps and bounds because they realized the strategic importance of renewable energy. Their installed capacity of both solar and wind power is to the extent of 1800 gigawatts, whereas the next in line is US, which has only 400 gigawatts, and India is the fourth behind Brazil at 200 gigawatts. So this we have to now counter the US pressure by significantly improving our investment in solar as well as wind power. That is one of the things that we have to do. And of course, the way this trade deal is being forced upon us is completely against the democratic process. And that is also showing us how power is being concentrated and power is being used as a coterie, and how that economic power is throttling our interests. So we have to oppose this. Of course, the specific details are there, that how our garment industry is going to be hit, how textiles are going to be hit. The other two industries are pharmaceutical and gems and jewelry. And if you see, gems, jewelry, and textiles are comparatively labor intensive industries, and that is going to hit our employment. And already urbanization is creating a number of problems for in our cities. And if agriculture is deprived of employment opportunities, then you can see a lot of migration, which is already taking place. It will further gather momentum, and our cities will become already they are uh, creaking, but they will become unlivable in the next few years. So we will have an all-round crisis. It is not only going to be only trade related or agriculture related. It is going to create an all-round crisis. And as humanists, our duty is to oppose this as actively as we can and as non-violently as we can. So these are a few thoughts that I would like to place before this assembly. And of course, as we discuss, many other points may also come up. So thank you, Sudhirji, for giving me the opportunity to open the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ashutosh, for your views. Very interesting and comprehensive in a short. Till Dr. Devinder is able to join us, we'll move forward. Do we have by any chance Dr. Sushil with us here? I don't see the name, but maybe he's with some other name.
No,
No.
he
Yeah, you were saying something, Ashutosh?
he was supposed to join. He told me he will join in a few minutes, but
So we'll wait for him. And next, I would like to invite either Rukaiya ji, if she
No,
can
Sushil,
give us the view,
Sushil,
or if
Sushil
she
ji
wants.
already joined.
Okay.
Sushil ji joined.
Devinder is with us. Rukaiya ji, let's wait. Welcome, Dr. Devinder. Thank you very much for joining. And
I'm sorry, there was no power.
no, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. No problem, sir. We understand things go out of our control. So here we are, about 25, 26 of us. And I think we can straight begin with you giving us your view, if that's all right for you.
Yeah, okay. नमस्कार सभी को.
Just a minute, sir. Friends, I don't think I have to introduce Dr. Devinder Sharma, who is known as uh, at least, if not the best, at least one of the best voices on agriculture, on farming, and everything related to that. A very sane voice with the study and all that. And we are very fortunate that he agreed and he is with us. So let's hear his views. And they will enrich our idea of what is going on. We are live on YouTube, sir. Please, sir, continue.
Thank you, Sudhir ji, and good evening to everyone. First of all, my apologies for joining you a little late, but certain things go beyond our control. There was a power cut. And anyway, I'm back here, and I think this is a topic which is, of course, very topical, and the nation is discussing the importance and, of course, the implications of this trade regime. Before I begin, let me first tell you that this is not the first time that America was exerting pressure on India to open up. And for several decades, I have seen at the WTO how America was exerting pressure on India to open up on agriculture because they had huge surplus. And so therefore there was the American interest was that perhaps India could open up the market and that would mean it can sustain American agriculture. Well, first of all, let me tell you, American agriculture is passing through a very, very distress pathway. And the situation is at such a level that roughly about 46% of the farm force in America is faced with bankruptcy. After 2022 to 2024 period, when there was huge bankruptcy, about $425 billion. That was the time when Donald Trump was, fighting elections. And that was a period when America wanted to get out of that trap. But not only this particular period of last 4 years, but even prior to that, American agriculture has not been in that comfortable position as many of us in India sitting here think that American agriculture is very progressive, very profitable, and so on and so forth. Well, why I'm saying this is because I recall a discussion that I had with Professor M.S. Swaminathan, and way back, and that was the time when I asked him one question, and the question was because he had access to, or he had also worked with prime ministers and agriculture ministers. I asked him who was the best agriculture minister that he knew, and prompt came the reply, Jagjeevan Ram. So I told Professor Swaminathan, when was Jagjeevan Ram the agriculture minister? He said, you may have forgotten, Mrs. Gandhi had shifted him from defense to agriculture. At that particular stage that I'm talking about, at that particular period, that, I'm sure you will refer to that period, that when he was the agriculture minister, Jagjeevan Ram. He says that we had gone to Rome to meet the Director General of FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. Now, what happens at Rome is when you want to meet the Director General, you have to meet the number 2 man first. Number 2 man, according to Swaminathan, is invariably an American. So after, they had walked into this gentleman's office and the pleasantries were over, this gentleman says, so Mr. Minister, when will you be importing food from America? So Jagjeevan Ram was a very seasoned politician, as you all know. So he wriggled out, by saying that we are grateful to America for giving us that technology, the Green Revolution technology, and so on and so forth. Well, the official still, insisted, you have to tell us, Mr. Minister, when do you open up to American agriculture exports? So Jagjeevan Ram again wriggled out. And but he says he was so rude, that particular American gentleman, that he asked the minister again, third time, that no, I'm looking for an answer. When do you open up for American agriculture produce? So this made Jagjeevan Ram very angry. So what he did was he picked up the papers which were lying in front of him, threw at his face, and then said, "Hell to you and to your exports, and India will never import food from America." And he walked out. And Swaminathan recalls that because he was the agriculture secretary at that time, he says, Jagjeevan Ram said, let's cancel this meeting with the Director General and let's go back. Now, the point I'm narrating this story is to drive home this fact that America was for several decades trying to find a foothold in Indian market. And successive Indian governments had done remarkably well to see or to resist that kind of effort. Now suddenly, we know that India has opened up in the sense that India has given a space for a foothold, that America can seek a foothold in the Indian agriculture market. We all know about that. But when I look at the last few days at the newspaper articles and so on, coming from people we know are agriculture economists or otherwise policymakers and so on, I see a couple of things being written about. One is that, oh, India will now get a access to global market, world market, because America has allowed imports from India also, as you all know. And then, of course, all those things coming to India at 0% duty, and we believe that India has gotten access to a global market or world market. That's one thing I read. Second, I read is there are a lot of advantages as far as India has now decided to open up, and that also are listed by various writers. The third I find is, oh, there is a plus point here that America, we are standing with America. I don't know whether on the left side or right side, but they believe this is also going to be very productive economically for India, and also business opportunity. A lot of investments will come in, and so on and so forth. These are the kind of dominant economic thinking that is being flashed around. And we somehow would, many of us will buy that. But I don't understand how will, we try to justify that India will get an access to the global market when already India's exports to America are at least 3 times than what the imports are. Already, India is importing roughly about $6 billion worth of agriculture to America. And what we import is about $2.9 billion in India. So we are trade surplus. America is trade deficit. What is the need to open up, to see that the American trade deficit is removed and they become trade surplus, as far as we know, because America has now said they will be exporting $500 billion dollars worth of exports to us, which includes, of course, industry and electronics and these kinds of things. But agriculture is also, as we all know, being opened up now. That's the point I want to drive home, that most people who are writing this is because just they want to justify that India hasn't done a wrong by allowing for imports to come into the country. We all know that if we forget about what the policymakers and experts are writing in the newspapers, we also know that America today is what the deal they have struck with India is that the tariff in America when we export will be 18%. They have brought it down from 25 to 18%. And the 25, of course, is for oil, Russia's oil, which they have, at the moment put it at the back burner. But this 25 to 18% is being celebrated in India as if we have a victory in our hands. I don't understand what kind of thinking is that we celebrate our weakness or we celebrate our loss also as if it is a victory for us. That's one point that we must understand. On the other hand, they have ensured that India is now a country with zero tariff, as far as the imports are concerned, both for electronics, business, and so on, and also for agriculture. Now, electronics and business, I don't have anything to say because they can compete. But as far as agriculture is concerned, I think we need to understand, why did we open up for 0% tariff imports? Because as we all know, that tariffs are the first line of defense for any country. Whenever we are, faced with a kind of import surge coming in, it is a tariff which comes in handy so that we can stop whatever, or we can limit our entry, the entry of our producer, entry of the produce into our country. That's the first line of defense. So we have practically removed the first line of defense. Although I hear some people saying that we have still a negotiating space left with us. Fine, very fine. But so far the indications are that we are willing to import at 0% duty. The second line of defense always is you have the non-tariff barriers. One is the tariffs that we are talking about. The other one is a non-tariff barrier. Now, I'll explain to you what exactly we mean by non-tariff barrier. But India has also said that they are willing to negotiate on non-tariff barrier. But a lot of places it has appeared that India has already given an indication that they will be removing the non-tariff barriers that we normally impose as far as agriculture is concerned. Now, America also has tariffs. Yes, it is 18%, but America also has non-tariff barriers. Now, America hasn't given an indication that they are going to, dismantle the non-tariff barrier wall that they have, but they have made India agree to this, that the non-tariff barrier should go. So I think let us see how does it proceed further. But I think we need to understand, if the non-tariff barriers go, which means the second line of defense also goes away. So the first line of defense is the tariff. Second line of defense is the non-tariff barrier. So both go away. So that means India is now become an open ground for exporting anything that gradually that will happen. Because if you know the announcements that the Minister for Commerce is making, is he is going all over the world and saying that we have protected agriculture's interest and so on and so forth, and the sensitive products have not been allowed. That's what all he is saying. Take it as it comes. But the important thing is that in America, if you remember the day George Bush announced on the Twitter that they have struck a major deal with India, and he's going to export $500 billion worth of products to India. That's what he has said. The agriculture secretary of agriculture secretary in America means she is the minister, and that's the kind of ranking they have. So the agriculture secretary Brooke Rollins has gone on record saying this is a big news for America, because they are now getting a foothold into the India's market, which is the world's biggest. We all understand that we have the world's biggest market with us. And so she said that this will mean that the prices for the farmers in America will go up. And it also means there will be a money flow into America. Now, also, I have seen a couple of news reports which says farmers in America are celebrating. Obviously, they get such a huge market, so they are celebrating, and they have reasons to celebrate, because right from Jagjeevan Ram's time, we haven't allowed American exports to enter India. So now, when it has been allowed in whatever quantity or limited, quantity or limited numbers, I think the important thing is that we have opened up. And if America is celebrating the opening up of the India's market, and in India, farmers have gone on a protest, as you all know, from February 12. So look at the situation. One, we are being told that our interests are fine, and many people who are writing in newspapers are saying we will get an access to the global markets. On the other hand, farmers are protesting because they know it brings in flood of cheaper imports, highly subsidized imports, and that would mean, as I have always said, importing food is importing unemployment. So the more the food we import, the more the large number small farmers will get out of agriculture. So this is a situation that currently we are faced with. But if we look a little ahead, now I must tell you, when I said when we remove the non-tariff barriers, what does it mean? We are being told that poultry, dairy, and crops like food security crops, which are important, wheat, rice, have all been protected. So there's nothing to fear as far as American produce is concerned. But if you remember, the American document, the document in which this joint communication is talked about, is actually a calibrated, approach to opening up of trade. And so if it is a calibrated, it means step by step, or एक एक करके उसको हम खोलेंगे. So that should be clear to us कि वो calibrated है, ये जो हमें बताया जा रहा है. There is something wrong. अगर हम ये कहते हैं कि हमारे यहाँ फार्मर्स को खुश होना चाहिए, तो अमेरिका के फार्मर क्यों सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं, ये मुझे समझ नहीं आता. And if American farmers are celebrating, I think they know, because इतने सालों की उनकी इच्छा थी, और जो हो गया है तो उनका तो समझ आता है कि मुझे क्यों सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं. लेकिन भारत के लोग उसको क्यों अपने अपने नुकसान को भी हम उसको सेलिब्रेट करते हैं. ये एक नया तरीका बन गया है इस देश में कि जो लॉस भी हो या कहीं हम मार भी खा गए हो, उसको भी सेलिब्रेट करिए. एंड आई थिंक दैट इज द वे वी आर लुकिंग एट द वे ट्रेड इज नाउ मूविंग. ये तो एक हो गया. अब उसके बाद देखते हैं कि मैंने नॉन टैरिफ बैरियर से आपको उदाहरण देना चाहता था कि जैसे पोल्ट्री को इन्होंने भी कहा कि हमने बचाया है, कोई इंपोर्ट नहीं आएगी. जब जॉर्ज बुश भारत में आए थे, कुछ साल हो गए, तो उनके टाइम पर एक इशू आया था, वो ये था कि अमेरिका का जो चिकन का ट्रेड है उनका, या चिकन की वहां पर भी जो मार्केट है इन अमेरिका, उसमें एक हमें समझने की जरूरत है कि जब अमेरिकन चिकन को खाते हैं या उसका सेवन करते हैं, तो वो उनके ब्रेस्ट पोर्शन को वो प्रेफर करते हैं। तो जो उनकी टांगे होती हैं चिकन की, दैट बिकम्स ए वेस्ट फॉर देम। तो उनका बड़े साल से एक प्रयास है कि वो एक्सपोर्ट करें, कहीं डंप करें। तो भारत ने रोक के रखा इतने साल, लेकिन जो सेंट्रल एशिया की कंट्रीज है ना, कजाकिस्तान, उज्बेकिस्तान, इनमें इनमें उन्होंने फोर्स किया। वहां पर मैं जब भी जाता हूँ वहां पर, तो मैंने देखा जब मुझे डिनर पे जब कभी हमें कोई लेके जाते हैं, तो लोग मुझे मजाक में कहते हैं कि साहब जो ये चिकन लेग्स आप खा रहे हैं, दीज आर द बुश लेग्स। जॉर्ज बुश के नाम पे उसको बुश लेग्स कहते हैं। अब देखिए हुआ क्या कि हमने इतने साल उसको रोके रखा। वो कैसे रोके रखा? क्योंकि हमने उसके ऊपर एक नॉन टैरिफ बैरियर लगाया। नॉन टैरिफ बैरियर ये था कि जब चिकन की लेग आप इंपोर्ट करेंगे, तो हमने कहा कि इसके साथ एक एवियन इन्फ्लुएंजा की बीमारी भी आ सकती है। तो उसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए हमने उसको रोके रखा कि हम इसका आयात नहीं होने देंगे। इतना हुआ कि अमेरिका को इस पे मतलब उनको समझ आया कि इंडिया क्यों रोक रहा है, तो उन्होंने WTO में, वर्ल्ड ट्रेड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, एक डिस्प्यूट पैनल होता है, जो कोर्ट होता है उसका, उसमें भी इंडिया को उन्होंने ड्रैग किया और इंडिया केस हार गया। इंडिया केस हार गया। अब देखिए ना, जिस कंट्री ने हमें वहां पर भी WTO में भी खींचा और उसके बाद हम हार भी गए हैं वो केस, तो आपको क्या लगता है कि अब जब बाजार खुल गया है, तो वो इसके ऊपर दोबारा नहीं आएंगे कि हमारे अब जो चिकन लेग्स हैं, मैं तो उनको ट्रम्प लेग्स कहूंगा, ट्रम्प लेग्स को अब आप इनवाइट करिए या उसको आप लीजिए, तो वो तो उनका इंटरेस्ट रहेगा ही। सो नॉन टैरिफ बैरियर अगर हम ये हटा देते हैं इस पे, चिकन पे, मैं जैसे आपसे कहा, तो आई थिंक वी विल बी फेस्ड विद दैट काइंड ऑफ इन्फ्लक्स फ्रॉम फ्रॉम अमेरिका। ये एक उदाहरण हो गया। दूसरा, आप देखिए कि जब दूध की बात करते हैं, अब बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है कि भारत की जो दूध की प्रोडक्शन है वो 245 मिलियन टन के आसपास है। वी आर द नंबर 1 मिल्क प्रोड्यूसर इन द वर्ल्ड। जो दूसरे नंबर पे मिल्क प्रोड्यूसर है वो अमेरिका है। उनका तकरीबन 108 109 मिलियन टन के पैदावार होता है, हमसे आधा है। और उसके बावजूद भी वो चाहते हैं कि भारत अपना बाजार खोले। और आपने देखा ही है कि इस इशू पे कितने सेंसिटिविटी है, कि हमारी सरकार ने कहा है कि हम बिल्कुल नहीं खोलेंगे, क्योंकि ये डेयरी सेक्टर है। और एक पहले ट्रीटी हुई थी साउथ एशियन कंट्रीज के बीच में, इट वाज कॉल्ड एज RCGM, और दैट वाज रीजनल कोऑपरेशन। और उसमें भी भारत ने एंड के मौके पे, लास्ट मोमेंट पे, अपने उससे वॉकआउट
May
किया
back
था।
to English if you don't mind, please.
इसलिए वॉकआउट किया था क्योंकि हम अपने डेयरी को बचाना चाहते थे, क्योंकि डेयरी में आप जानते हैं कि 8 करोड़ लोग सीधे जुड़े हुए हैं डेयरी से। तो उसको हमने बचाया था। लेकिन अब जो बड़ा जो फैक्टर हमारे सामने है, जिसको अभी तो हम कह रहे हैं कि हमने बचाया डेयरी सेक्टर को, लेकिन हमने उसको नॉन टैरिफ बैरियर के करके बचाया हुआ है। क्योंकि हमने ये कहा है कि अगर हम दूध इंपोर्ट करते हैं अमेरिका से, तो उसमें नॉन वेजिटेरियन स्टफ होता है जो कैटल फीड को वहां दिया जाता है, वो हमारी आस्था को हिट करता है। तो इसलिए हमने उसको रोक रखा है और वो अभी तक रुका हुआ है। लेकिन जब ये हमारा नॉन टैरिफ बैरियर भी चला जाएगा, तब मुझे नहीं समझ आता कि हम कह रहे हैं कि साहब हमारा डेयरी सेक्टर बचाया हुआ हमने, तब हम उसको कैसे बचाएंगे? आई थिंक ये सवाल हम सबको पूछना चाहिए गवर्नमेंट से कि भाई इतना बड़ा सेक्टर है, आपने तो कहा कि नहीं खुला है, उसको हमने सेंसिटिव है, उसको बचाए रखा है, लेकिन जब ये नॉन टैरिफ बैरियर हटेगा तो उसके ऊपर भी मार पड़ेगी। सो आई थिंक वी शुड बी रेडी फॉर दैट, एंड देयरफॉर हमें समझ आना चाहिए कि हम क्या क्या अपने इंटरेस्ट में हम क्या कर सकते हैं, और उसको किस तरीके से हमें और भी उस बॉर्डर को या उस वॉल को हमें कैसे मजबूत करना है। ये
Mr.
नहीं है कि
Devinder
हमारे देश में
Sharma,
ही।
Mr. Devinder
सर
Sharma,
पहले मैं बोल
you
लूं।
make it slowly,
ओके
because
ठीक है।
we are not able to follow you.
ओके
Actually, you are very fast, and
हाँ, जैसा
so
मैंने
many people
ठीक
are
है।
there. We can make a discussion, because
ओके वील डू
Mr.
दैट।
PT John is also there. I
तो
have
मैंने
invited
उसमें
him. He has joined our meeting. He is a very good friend of Tikayat, our great leader, agriculture leader Tikayat. Mr. PT John is there, but we will make it as a discussion. Otherwise, we cannot follow you, because you are very fast, speedily you are saying.
सर ओके, योर पॉइंट इज वेल टेकन, थैंक यू फॉर ब्रिंगिंग इट टू माय नोटिस। यस, तो मैं प्रयास करता हूँ आस्ते आस्ते आप लोगों से बात करूं। और
English, English, please, sir. English, please. English, please.
I have no problem. If you want me to speak in English, I can speak in English. If you want me to speak in Punjabi, I can.
People, South people doesn't have a Hindi well.
Yeah, I
So
will speak. In between, yes, it's a Hindustani, so don't worry about it. One is trying to come up with as much as possible to आपके साथ बताने के लिए. And now the interesting part is कि भाई, when America has the non-tariff barrier, we must understand what does it mean. Now, I just give you one illustration here. कि America has not allowed, or for quite some time, it didn't allow mango imports into America. And again, when George Bush was in India, at that time, the Commerce Ministry had brought up this issue that why don't you open up for mango? So America did open for mango, but what they did was they imposed a non-tariff barrier. The non-tariff barrier was whenever anybody has to export mangoes to America, there is an insect which they don't want to allow in America. So they are saying you do irradiation or you try to address that particular issue, and then only we will allow this mango to get into America. But the another interesting part here is that to justify or to ensure that what India exports is not carrying that insect, they have said that you have to bring one expert from America who will be testifying that your produce is okay, and then only the imports will be allowed. The cost of that gentleman that you bring to India has to be borne by the Indian exporter. So this becomes a non-tariff barrier for America, and so they restrict the export of mango into America. So the point I'm trying to make is that there are 9,000 non-tariff barrier, 9,000 plus non-tariff barriers that America applies. Whereas as far as India is concerned, India is has about 600 plus non-tariff barriers that India applies. So we are not asking America कि भाई these 9,000. I said we are not asking America that these 9,000 non-tariff barriers should go, but we are willing to see that our non-tariff barriers that we have in India are taken away or are removed. So this is also another issue which we must understand. So with zero duty, with non-tariff barriers, the wall of non-tariff barriers removed, therefore it is an open field, and open field, since it is a calibrated, the negotiations are in that manner. So gradually we can open up for other things. Like it happened, just a day after the minister went around telling that, we are all safe and nothing to worry and all those things. We have a situation where America released a fact sheet, and in that fact sheet, they introduced certain pulses to be included among the American exports. The certain pulses, I think, by the time the nation, of course, it was just for one day, and the next day they realized there was a halagulla in India, so they withdrew that pulses. So the point here is that this means that the communication that we have so far, or the framework that Government of India is sharing with us, is not the final word. We may still have many, as we said earlier, calibrated inclusions happening as we go along. So in this situation, I think is something that a nation must debate and deliberate and form its own opinion before we accept the kind of opening up we are being made to believe is going to be good for India. Now comes the issue of subsidies and how agriculture is hugely subsidized in America. In America, I would illustrate by, let's say, the example of cotton. Cotton, as you know, is a very important crop, very sensitive for both America and India, and also for many of the African countries and so on. But interestingly, the WTO ministerial that happened at Cancun in Mexico some years back failed because of cotton subsidies. To give you an illustration here, let's see how we compare farmers, cotton growers in America with cotton growers in India. America has 8,000 cotton growers. India has 98 lakh cotton growers. The average landholding size for cotton growers in America is 600 hectares. In India, we know that farmers cultivate cotton, or for other crops also, 1, 2, 3 acres. So therefore, you can see 98 lakh farmers in India, and in America, just 8,000 cotton growers. But the 8,000 cotton growers, despite the huge landmass they have, cannot survive unless they get adequate subsidies. So America provides them a subsidy support of $1 lakh per year per farmer. $1 lakh per year per farmer. In India, our farmers get a support of $27 per farmer. So imagine how can two countries, these two giants, be comparing as far as the subsidies are concerned. And cotton is just one illustration that I wanted to present before you. Besides this, in the month of October, in September, of course, we issued a notification, but in the month of October till December, India had removed the import duties on cotton. Import duties on cotton from America were 11%. So these were removed. So it became a situation where America could export at 0% duty to us. And that situation, the supply of cotton into the Indian market increased by 95%. We imported roughly 3 million bales. Bales is 172 kg. And 3 million bales or 30 lakh bales were imported into India. Now, this brought down the prices in India, as a result of which farmers got 1,215, 1500 rupees less as the cotton price. Now, this clearly tells us that if this particular regime is extended further, 0% duty or import tariffs, then of course cotton will be flooded and American cotton will flood Indian market, and the farmers are going to be the sufferers. Of course, I see the industry rejoicing, saying that it has become competitive for us to import cotton. But I think more important is the livelihood of the 98 lakh people who are engaged in cotton cultivation. So this picture should be clear that, how heavily subsidized in American agriculture. I've looked at the subsidies to support the farmers get. In America, every farmer gets a subsidy support of about 66,000 US dollars per year, which means roughly about 60 lakh rupees is the subsidy support to per farmer in America, per American farmer. So that's the kind of subsidy support. In India, the total subsidy support, earlier I had talked about the cotton subsidies and the support to cotton farmers. And now the total subsidy support in India is just 294 rupees. So on one hand, we have 294 rupees being given to farmers. On the other hand, it is, as I said earlier, 60 lakh rupees plus per year per farmer in America. So all these subsidies then reduce the international price, as a result of which it becomes easy for the Americans to export their produce at a cheaper price to us, and they often result in a dumping because the cost of production is the price that they have in the retail market or in the international market is less than the cost of production. So that is what America can afford, given the huge subsidies they provide. As I said earlier, 46% of the farmers today are faced with bankruptcy. And so obviously with that low your situation where farmers are the kind of distress that prevails, it is quite obvious and quite clear that America was looking for a sustained market. Now with China dithering on that point, because China had reduced the import of soybean, wheat, and other commodities from America. And eventually they have given some leverage back, but whatever it is still not a comfortable position for America. So they look out for a bigger country to sustain their agriculture. Now, of course, is taken care of by India opening up. I also believe that America's interest does not end here, that they have put a foothold in the Indian door, and you believe that they are going to go away with this, or they are not going to expand their interest in India. So it is quite obvious that America's drive would be to see that we open up the door as ajar as possible, or as clearly as possible, so that they can export more to India. Now, it is a situation here that we must understand and appreciate that we are at a situation today that whatever we have been able to protect all these years and see the build-up on food security, national food security, I think can be lost if we do not have adequate checks and balances, A. And B, as I said earlier, there was no need for India to open up because we are already surplus in food. We have already a record food grain production, not only this year, but also for several years now. And there was no, as I said, that our exports to America were double than what they were exporting to us. So we had nothing to really seek from America. And now, of course, there would be a lot of people who are justifying that whatever we are going to import is what India would require so as to become a developed country or to see the economic growth. One of the crops which is coming into India is apple. And we all know that farmers in Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir are up in arms because this would mean cheaper apple coming in from America. In fact, I would not only say America, in the three FTAs, free trade agreements that we have signed with New Zealand and European Union and America is going to be quite devastating for both the states, Himachal Pradesh as well as Jammu and Kashmir. And in Himachal Pradesh, we produce about 25% of the country's production, and Jammu Kashmir produces about 70% of the total production. So I'm happy that Omar Abdullah has recently gone on record just a day or two earlier, saying that this will devastate the Kashmir economy. In Himachal Pradesh, it is a 5,000 crore crop. Apple economy is 5,000 crores, and this will be a big hit to Himachal also because as we know, Himachal has not many options, being a hill state, and apple cultivation is something that is taken care of by 80% of the people who are into horticulture. So in this condition, apple and then of course almonds and walnuts, these are crops where we import much. But I thought on the other hand, we should have built up our own production capacity rather than depending for all times to come on California almonds and akhrot and so on. So this was one factor which was very clear that what we are going to import. The other is the import they have listed is soybean oil and also something called as dry distilled grain (DDGS), which basically means when maize goes into ethanol production or processing, whatever little that remains is constitutes or is what is called DDGs, and they go into basically poultry and not cattle but mostly poultry, feed production, and so therefore there would be a huge lobby which will say, oh, the cheaper DDG is coming and soybean oil, but the tragedy is that both these commodities are genetically modified because in ethanol we are using GM maize. America produces mostly what is they produces is genetically modified. So we have also known that in the processing that goes for DDGS, the GM जो उसका trait है, that doesn't go away. It still remains in that particular commodity that we are talking about. Soybean oil also, there are conflicting reports. Some people say the processing takes care of the GM component, but several studies are there before us which say no, it doesn't. But all it needs is a better sophisticated methodology or equipment to test it, which India doesn't have. So we will have to look for who can be or from where to get these kinds of tests done. By and large, these three commodities are what has been spelled out so far. And as I said earlier, pulses have been withdrawn, so we don't have that. But as we go along, the government has already made it clear that by mid of March, the draft will come, which will tell us what is on the table. So that is one. And secondly, the joint communique tells us that as far as standards and regulations are concerned, America has said it will take us 6 months to negotiate what will be the level of regulations or sanitary measures that we will have to follow. If you have seen the America's deal with Malaysia a few weeks back. Again, the same kind of trade treaty has been signed there, 18% tariffs. But what America has made it very clear to Malaysia and also to Bangladesh. If you see Bangladesh also now, the deal is before you. It is being discussed today or to yesterday. And I think what they have done is they have told Malaysia very clearly that our standards, the health and sanitary standards, America says, will remain the same. You change your laws. So interestingly, Malaysia is now changing its laws, but they are not, able to deny that to America, saying that your sanitary standards or your health standards are not something that Malaysians are happy with. Similarly, Bangladesh also, America has made it clear to Bangladesh that you will have to follow the FDA prescriptions, Food and Drug Administration's prescriptions that America has, and so means Bangladesh will also be changing its own laws to conform to the American laws. Which also brings us to this question. Please don't be so soft that India is a big country, so America will allow us any room. But I think we should be ready if it has happened with Pakistan if it has happened with Malaysia and also with Bangladesh. I think we should be ready to face the same kind of stiff, refusal to opening up their standards and regulation. So put it all together, there is no advantage that we are being told because, as I said earlier, America was looking for a big market to sustain its agriculture, and only a couple of years back, they every year America comes out with something, not every year, but after every 5 years, America brings out a farm bill. It is called Farm Bill, in which they give the entire provisions, budgetary provisions and subsidies for agriculture. Now, the 2024 Farm Bill, is still not implemented. It is still on the way, and in which America has made a provision of $1.5 trillion for the next 10 years. Now, that's the kind of investment they are making into agriculture. And besides this $1.5 trillion, which includes the subsidies also, America only a few months back has announced a better bill for agriculture, and Trump had announced it with a lot of fanfare. So, to cover up the losses that American farmers have suffered in the last few years because of as I said, because of the distress that prevails and the low prices that the farmers had to incur, America has provided a subsidy support of $12 billion which will be provided or given for a number of crops, which includes wheat and cotton and so on and so forth. And these will be per acre kinds of payment that America has announced, $12 billion. So $12 billion also would add up to the massive subsidy support that America has already been providing to its agriculture. And that will make it still tougher for India, because the higher the subsidies, the more the farmers in America would be insulated from the global market or the volatility of the markets in the rest of the world. So we are faced with a kind of a situation where if we open up, we should be ready to face the consequences, which may even be, a devastation of the kind of food security paradigm that we have had all these years. And and if you think that it is nothing to be worried, then let me tell you, in the last few years or decades, what America was asking, or what America was trying to say is that on the MSP front, they had said that India should ensure, or the US trade representative earlier, they were being forced to by the export organizations of America to say that you should cap the minimum support price that is existing in India. Their idea was that if you are able to cap the MSP, that means the farmers will not get a higher price, and that would mean their income will not grow. So when their income will not grow, then it makes it easier for American farmers to dump their, or to make available their exports into India. So they are saying that if you can provide food security, food distribution across the country under PDS, So if you allow imports to come in from America, they can also meet those PDS supplies in India. So that has been their argument all these years. And now I don't know whether we or how much we allow that space to the Americans to take control of our agriculture or to dominate the kind of food security concerns that India has effectively built over the decades and over the past, let's say, 30, 40, 50 years. And so here is a situation, ladies and gentlemen, that I wanted to present before you. And I'm sorry, I speak very fast, so I can't help it. But I am thanks to correction, and I have tried to slow down as much as possible. And because the one disadvantage I have is there is so much of packed material that I want to share with you, and I feel after half an hour you'll say, no, we are tired now, or we should stop. So I think my problem, sorry, it's not your this thing that I try to speak fast, but anyway, I get the message, and I will try to be as slow as possible. Well, thank you very much, Sudhir, for giving me this opportunity, and thanks to everyone for joining me late in this evening to understand the implications that are expected from the Indo-US trade deal.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Dr. Sharma, for making this very detailed. Most of the medias is not giving us all the details which you have given. And with permission of Sudhir, I would like to bring up the humanist point of view. And I work on the creating the world without violence. This to us is an economic violence. And therefore, I would bring up a little macro perspective, being part of the social sector, just to continue to support what you have said, that in the past.
Rukaya, if you don't mind waiting for just 2-3 minutes.
Yeah. I was just looking at
Uh,
then I thought.
Dr. Sharma, I don't have the apt words to thank you, but anyway, I'm sure you understand that we speak from heart, and your information gives us the correct perspective of the mess that the country and the people are going to be in. Maybe some of us do not know that more than 60% of India is farmers. And so if, with your permission, since you don't have much time today, if you can give us about 5 minutes or so, if somebody has any questions to ask you, will that be okay for you, sir?
Yeah, I'm okay, please.
Okay. We'll continue with you, Rukaya, after that. So, friends, if you have any questions, clarification from Dr. Sharma, please be quick, one after the other, because he had requested us, he's hard pressed with time. And so we'll take about 5 minutes of his time. Thank you. Okay, so I will start with just one thing, Dr. Sharma, because one thing that you said, which looked to me as a sort of conclusion, that this deal is bad for us, bad for India, and we must not accept it. Can we say that very clearly?
Well, I don't know what has happened to this country. They don't want to say clearly. I find everyone is quiet and trying to hide behind something, and the people don't speak up. As ma'am just said that you don't get this information in the general public or in the general media. That is the fact is because nobody wants to speak up because I don't know, they're all worried about the ED raid or CBI raid or whatever. I don't know why, but I think these are facts. These are the analysis which people should know. That is why I make an effort to see that as much as we can talk about and share this information, people become aware, and then perhaps they may be able to take up a position based on strong data or strong facts in their hand. So in that connection, yes, I think Sudhirji, everyone for that matter should use this opportunity to speak up, because if you don't speak up now, there's no point creeping after 7 months or 6 months or the end of the year. Oh, we have lost it and so on. I think when the situation is that we can do something, so let's all join hands to do something. And your voice is very important. So not only the humanists, but other groups also that who are attached here or part of the grouping today. I think we need to all, come up and start saying, that this is not what we wanted. We need to protect our agriculture because agriculture is the mainstay. And also for any country, as a number of people have said that, you may have arms, but more important is food. And that I think is something that we cannot wish away, or we cannot throw away the kind of strength that we have. And in the last few years we have seen those countries which do not have food, look at the geopolitical crisis they are faced with. So I think as a nation we are very proud that our agriculture has done well. There are problems domestically, but that we can do or take care later. America is not here to solve our problems. America is here to solve their problem. Let's be clear about this.
Thank you very much, sir, for that clarity. And if anybody has any other questions, please come in, because we should not hold on to Dr. Sharma's time too much. He has so many people to answer to.
Hello. Can you
Yes,
hear?
Yeah.
Yes. Please go on.
My name is John, P.T. John. I'm from Kerala. Today, we had a meeting in the parliament with the opposition leader Rahul Gandhi. About 17 organizations attended the meeting. We have taken a decision that a larger platform for resisting this Indo-US free trade bringing all the indigenous communities, all the trade unions together with farmers organizations. The first meeting is over, and more meetings we are planning. So, Devendra Sharmaji, we need more data and details. We will come to Chandigarh or wherever. Can you provide maximum data and details for bring out pamphlets and other materials for sensitizing our farmers and other organizations? The media is not at all for people. They are all for corporate.
If you can
so please,
questions, so it becomes easy for Dr. Sharma to answer.
Shamaji, can you provide maximum details in this regard for bringing leaflets and brochures or materials?
Well, we will see how much one can spare time, how much time can be spared. But let me tell you, if you are on the internet and if you look into my Facebook page, you will find on my Facebook at least 10 interviews I have given in the last couple of days and even today. They're all there, and each one of them would carry a lot of information that can be used or that can be made use of. So, in my humble way, I think that is the way one tries to share and provide as much information as possible. But please don't expect me to fill up or to provide you a written text for, let's say, 4 pages or 5 pages. I would not have the time to do that because there's a lot of pressure, media pressure on me, and I think it is not easy to find or squeeze in time to write notes for any organization for that matter. But yes, the information is all available. It is in the public domain. Just go to my Facebook page. It has my picture, so you can just identify that page, and you can look into all the interviews that I've given. Hindi, Punjabi, English are all there. So in whatever language you can, and I still have on tomorrow only, for instance, let's say tomorrow is what, Saturday? I have 11 interviews lined up tomorrow. So imagine the kind of pressure that one is operating under. So, but I am open, and I would say कि जितना मेरा काम है मैं भी कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन हम सब का जो दायित्व है या हम सब उसको जितना भी best use कर सकें, I think each one of you has the power to do that.
Thank you, sir. Thank
you, Sharma, Mr. John, and everybody else. I am aware of all these materials of Dr. Sharma. What I will do is, you see, the purpose of World Humanist Forum is to bring organizations and people together to work on various issues of interest. So I will put the links on our World Humanist Forum group of Facebook, and you will find the links from there very easily.
Thank you. Very good.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sharma, for your time. We would love you to be with us for hours and hours, but we know that there are many others in the queue, so we will not press you more for time. And whatever questions we have, we will mail them to you, and I will coordinate the answers later on.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Sudhir ji. And thanks
Thank
to
you.
everyone.
Yeah.
You have been very kind, I must say, very patiently listening. And hope we all build up a kind of a new India that we all aspire.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
shall,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Ashutosh, can you please take over now the meeting? I need a few minutes of break.
Yes, now I think Rukaiya ji wanted to make her point. So, Rukaiya ji, would you please take the mic?
Yes. So, continuing with what Mr. Sharma mentioned, uh, I will first speak in English and then in Hindi, I will summarize. So, for those who want Hindi, you will get, and I'll be very quick. I have some very important, specific observation from the humanist point of view, whether it is party or world without wars and violence. And I want to continue with whatever he said. I want to clarify that we are only talking about agriculture. We are not talking about the entire agreement. It is an arm twisting that we will reduce the tariff on India for Indian export only when India agrees to do this. और इसमें कोई escape नहीं है. We had to agree, and that's how we are going ahead. He mentioned about anti-dumping. I want to tell you that there are not only softer aspects of anti-dumping, there are administrative aspects of anti-dumping. And earlier, in last 70 years, the government has gone out to use subsidies, quota, and licenses. That if you have license, if you get quota, then only you can import. We are only talking about imports. We are talking about agriculture from USA. We are focusing on that. Now, in this case, that is just, these are called the non-tariff barriers. These are the non-tariff barriers the government can use. But because it is a trade agreement, the government will not be allowed to use that non-tariff barriers to try and stop the agricultural products to come. And the second point that I want to make is that today the rupee has become so very weak that itself becomes huge, costly to import agriculture from USA. And weaker, as he rightly said, weaker rupee, they are saying that it is good for export, but in the same way, for import of agriculture, it is going to hurt. The third point, that notion which he left it as that thinking that investment will come. If I will share the data that last 1 year itself, there is huge amount of foreign direct investment has gone out from the country instead of coming. So it's not going to come, it's going to go. So these are the myths which have been sold in the trying to sell what they have gone out to do it, right? I have a very clear observation that because the government wants to satisfy the US government, it will allow the imports through the large buyer like the companies like Reliance, which will have the stores to sell their products. So the agricultural products, if other buyers, other importers will not purchase, then it will be purchased by Reliance because there are not going to be any quota and all that, and it will come through the country to the country through the Reliance stores and other stores, which will buy all the products that Mr. Sharma talked about, that will come as such. So it will be an online purchase and coming through the large buyer, and one or two buyers, that it will be, and that's how it is going to be. So this is how we will have to look at how do we safeguard the interest of the farmers. And to my mind, it is economic violence, and it is the weaknesses of the farming industry is already there, which we can discuss completely on another time, because I have the privilege of working with BIF and many other farming organizations, particularly farmer producer companies and others, which I have studied myself. There are weaknesses of our agriculture system, but it has come a long way over a period of time. With the unity which is coming up, farmers will protest, but it will come through the reliance route, and that is how we are not going to escape on that. So we have to go back to Gandhian way, and this is the only way Humanist Party can work on from today. You have no other time but as a party to work on, to try and make sure that the products which come through the Reliance stores are not purchased by people. And that is the only way a large campaign to be done at a national level. You do what you want, the mass media, but behavioral change, that people will definitely not go to the Reliance store and buy. People will not go to the online Amazon area and buy. People will not do that. And that is what we will have to do. So this is what Dr. Abu asked, what we have to do. We have to boycott, picketing, not allow anybody to purchase. This, if we don't purchase, Reliance cannot sell. And this is the direct communication will go to the USA that it cannot arm twist us by this. And this is people's power. It is the power that we have to do, for which Humanist Party will have a mammoth task to work on. And this is what we have to sort of work together on this, to avoid and to have a removal of pain and suffering and equity, which is what we are looking at, to fairness and equity of all the humanists in India. We will have to do this on a larger scale. हिंदी में थोड़ा सा बता देती हूँ कि उन्होंने कहा था कि जब भी कोई देश कोई भी प्रोडक्ट जो उनके पास ज्यादा है हम पर डालने की कोशिश करता है, तो हम खाली उन्होंने जो बताया वो खाली सॉफ्टवेयर एस्पेक्ट नहीं है, और दूसरे भी हैं, जैसे लाइसेंस और कोटा गवर्नमेंट देती है, और जिसके पास कोटा है, जिसके पास लाइसेंस है, वही इंपोर्ट कर सकते हैं। पर वो ये यहाँ पर नहीं होगा, क्योंकि हमारे देश ने उनके साथ साइन किया है कि वो अलाउ करेंगे, तो हम कोटा और लाइसेंस नहीं दे सकते। तो कहाँ से होगा? तो सबसे जरूरी बात मुझे लगती है कि वो छोटे इंपोर्टर्स के पास से नहीं आएगा, क्योंकि उनको कॉस्ट लगेगी और वो महंगा होगा, और महंगा होगा तो लोग नहीं खरीदेंगे। फिर वो सेब हो या बादाम हो या कुछ भी हो, पर सोयाबीन हो या कुछ भी, वो नहीं आएगा क्योंकि वो महंगा पड़ेगा। पर ये कहाँ से आएगा? बड़ी बायर, रिलायंस जैसी कंपनी बहुत लार्ज क्वांटिटी में वहां से खरीद करेगी कि गवर्नमेंट उसको बोलेगी कि आप खरीद करो, और वहां से वो इंडिया में आएगा। तो हमें क्या करना है कि हमें पूरे देश में ये जागरूकता लानी है कि हमें इन प्रोडक्ट्स को नहीं परचेज करना है। तो जो भी प्रोडक्ट अमेरिका से आता है, अगर कोई खरीदेगा नहीं तो वो बिकेगा नहीं, और बिकेगा नहीं तो बार बार उसका खरीद नहीं होगा। तो ये जो बातें हो रही हैं कि उसके साथ बाहर से इन्वेस्टमेंट आएगा, तो वो आने वाला नहीं है, क्योंकि गए एक साल में लाखों करोड़ों रुपया इंडिया में से जिन्होंने पहले 2-4 साल पहले डाला था, वो वापस लेके चले गए हैं। तो मुझे ह्यूमैनिस्ट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से लगता है कि ये पेन एंड सफरिंग को दूर कराने का पर काम करने के लिए ये हमारे पास बड़ा मौका है। फार्मर्स को, छोटे फार्मर्स को हम यहाँ पर नहीं लेते, उसकी अलग समस्या है, वो हम नहीं सॉल्व कर सकते। हमें यहाँ पर अमेरिका जो हम पर लाद रहा है, उससे हमें कैसे अपने आप को सुरक्षित करना है, उसकी हम बात करते हैं। और वहाँ पर मुझे लगता है कि हमें ये प्रोडक्ट्स न खरीद करने की जागरूकता और वो बिहेवियरल चेंज आना चाहिए लोगों में कि हमें ये नहीं खरीद करना है। तो फिर वो सोशल मीडिया से करे कि हम दुकानों में पिकेटिंग गांधी जी ने करवाया था, हमें जो हमारे देश में हुआ था, सारे कपड़ों को जलाया था, यहाँ पर कपड़े की बात की थी, कपड़ों को की होली की थी, ऐसे करके बहुत कुछ अलग अलग एक्शन लिए थे, हमें उसमें से आज के दिन में जो नया सिचुएशन है, जो टेक्नोलॉजी है और जो दूसरी बातें हैं, उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए नए ऑप्शंस को, सॉल्यूशंस को हमें ढूंढना पड़ेगा कि किस तरह से हम रोके लोगों को वो प्रोडक्ट्स खरीद करने के लिए। तो ये हमारा जवाब होगा अमेरिका को। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Rukaya ji. You have talked about how we can resist this economic violence of cheaper American imports into India. इसके ऊपर if anyone wants to make any comment, observation, or raise questions, we have time.
Dr. Sushil ji is the.
I don't see him. I don't see him here.
Okay.
I don't see Sushil ji here.
Vipul ji, if you want.
थैंक यू वेरी मच रुकया जी, आपका इंसाइट्स देने के लिए। और बाकी सभी साथियों को भी थैंक यू कि आप टाइम निकाल के यहाँ पे आए। ये एक अभी एग्रीमेंट जब तक फाइनल कॉपी हाथ में नहीं आती है, साइन होता नहीं है, क्योंकि ट्रम्प जी को तो गुलाट मारने की आदत है, वो कुछ भी कभी कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं। तो we'll have to wait till the final thing, and maybe we'll have another occasion to discuss this matter when we actually get the agreement copy in hand. And of course, this is itself is eye-opening, and many things are to be brought into consideration regarding a campaign by Humanist Party. We will take care. I mean, we will internally discuss and find out, I mean, take out, decide a strategy, how we should go ahead with this campaign.
मेरी एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि ट्रम्प गुलाटी मारेंगे वो होप में न रहकर हमें काम अभी शुरू करना चाहिए. We can't wait, and we are not sure because as it has been very clearly mentioned that there are already insolvencies. I have gone myself and seen the entire thing empty in America. So ये क्लैरिटी है. कितनी कंपनीज ने, आप गूगल सर्च करिए, कितनी कंपनीज बैंकरप्ट हो गई है अमेरिका में एक साल में, तो आपको पता चलेगा. तो ट्रम्प उसके हमारे फेवर में गुलाटी मारेगा, ये मैं नहीं सोचकर चुप बैठूं और 6 महीने के बाद और 6 महीना 1 साल में निकाल दूं और तब तक ट्रम्प के जाने का टाइम हो जाए और
नहीं,
तब
एक
तक
साल की
बहुत
बात
सारा
नहीं है।
इंपोर्ट हो जाए.
मैं जो इंफॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल है उसमें ऐसा है कि बाय मिड मार्च दिस अग्रीमेंट विल बी साइन. In any case, leave it to the Humanist Party of India to discuss and decide what is to be done. We will take care of it.
But the point, I think, Rukaya ji, the point
आशुतोष जी,
you have
एक
made.
बात मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ.
बोलिए.
जो अभी रुकिया बेन ने बोली कि उसमें मैं ऐड करना चाहता हूँ कि अभी यूएसए में क्या सिचुएशन है एग्रीकल्चर की. एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर इन यूएसए इज फेसिंग lot of financial pressures, and increasing farm bankruptcy are increased by 46% compared to 2024. Nearly 320 filings have been reported in farm bankruptcy, and this is driven by factors like commodity prices, high input costs, and weather challenges like that. And commodity prices are in the US are at the 2018-19 level, whereas the input costs are increasing, and this has impacted farmers. And their tractor sale is down by 13% in USA, and combined sales is 48% down, like that. And आर्कानसास जो रीजन है उधर जो जहाँ पे ज्यादा सबसे ज्यादा एग्रीकल्चर है, वहाँ 25% फाइलिंग हुआ है. और मिड वेस्ट और साउथ रीजन जो है, दे आर लीडिंग द वे इन फार्म बैंकरप्सी. एंड दिस इज बिकॉज ऑफ दिस Trump administration has been forced to negotiate this deal, which will help the farm sector in USA to export this to countries like USA, countries like India वगैरह वगैरह. And इसमें ऐसा है कि certain जो items है वो US agriculture is likely to benefit from increased export to India, like red sorghum है, tree nuts है, fresh and processed fruits है, और सोयाबीन ऑयल है. क्योंकि ये सब एग्रीमेंट जो अभी तक आया है वो इसमें रिड्यूस टैरिफ हुआ है, विच कुड बेनिफिट यूएस फार्म एक्सपोर्ट. तो ये मेरा रीडिंग है. मैंने ये सब पूरा डेटा इंटरनेट से ही निकाला है और ये कोई भी निकाल सकता है. और इसमें कंसर्न जो इंडिया का फार्मर जो है, जो रुकिया बेन और देवेंद्र शर्मा ने भी बताई है, तो cheaper US import could hurt domestic prices and rural income. And we are having limited market access to Indian product in USA. And small and marginal farmer जो है इंडिया में, वो सबसे पहले इनको नुकसान हो जाएगा. तो इसके लिए अभी हमको जैसा अगर सब लोग सोचते हैं ऐसा कुछ अगर करना है तो यही एक राइट टाइम है. थैंक यू.
वो अमेरिका की इतनी बुरी दशा में है, उसके लिए कोई अलग सेशन लगेगा. उनके इकोनॉमी कितनी खराब स्थिति में है उसको ध्यान में करने के लिए, तो वो उसकी बात नहीं करेंगे. हम सिर्फ अपने को कैसे बचाना है उस पर ध्यान करेंगे.
Yes, Rukaya, I totally agree with you. And Dr. Sharma, who is a topmost expert in this field, who is respected in India and across the world, has very clearly said that concluding line, this agreement is not good for India. So we will not wait for the agreement to be signed, because then it becomes a bigger problem. We have to start helping the millions who are already agitated. By the way, we are not the first one to talk about it. We are probably talking after thousands and thousands of others have started talking and opposing. Our role as humanists would be to coordinate, to bring them together, and to ensure that this platform where the farmers fight remains non-violent, true to what Gandhi has taught us and true to what Silo has taught us. And that, I think, would be more than enough to bring the whole thing in an organized way. Let people take the lead is fine, but let us give the direction of non-violence and continuity and surety. We give them the internal work of how to be strong internally and go with the clear, faith of fighting the thing. Because the enemy, if we call it enemy, is huge, is big. And people on our side who are decision makers are compromised. Otherwise, imagine if the agriculture minister of that time, Jagjeevan Ram, had the courage to pick up the papers and throw it on the other person's face after tearing them. And here we are gale lagaing them. And they have the courage to say, no, no, this is good for India. Everybody, even a simple farmer knows it's not good for India. So we have to, this is I would say, very good beginning that we have made today. I personally thank each one of you, those who have left also, to join today and have this important thing. Let us use this platform. It belongs to the whole of humanist organizations. Let us use this platform to bring experts and others together and take our views forward in a stronger way to save the country and to save the humanity. Thank you. So if we have something more important to go, otherwise we can close the session now. Okay,
We can close
friends.
the session.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Peace, force, and joy to all of you. And we keep moving forward and taking things forward. And as I said earlier, I will coordinate the links that Dr. Sharma has and put it on the World Humanist Forum group on Facebook and also on WhatsApp. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Peace, force, and joy to all of you.
Peace, force, and
To
joy
you
to you
also.
all.
Peace, force, and joy.
Hello, Mayappan. Nice to see you.
Very meaningful meeting, Sudhirji. I would like to, thank you for organizing this, coordinating it with Lakshmanji.
All of you can tell us more experts in different fields who are available.
Yes.
We can invite them in the same way. and it can be co-organized with any of our organisms or all of them, or whichever way. It's our platform. There's no problem.
Hey, Ravindran sir, you please see Sudhir. He is in Delhi.
Ravindran is from Delhi. Okay.
Ah.
You please share. Okay, I will give you my number.
Ravindra sir, you are muted. You are muted, sir. Sudhir, you know Ravindra sir?
No, I have written
No,
him my. And
okay.
you
He
can
was
call.
yeah, he
after
was
an hour.
Yeah. I'll just note down that number, or you can give it me, Lakshmananji. You can give me the number to WhatsApp.
Okay.
Okay.
In fact, last 1 hour I was traveling. We had another session of similar topic at Kerala Club in Connaught Place. So after that, I was just traveling. So some of the matters I couldn't follow it up. Sudhirji, we will definitely catch up. Where are you in Delhi?
I'm currently in Faridabad, but my office is in South Delhi.
South Delhi. Where? South X?
Green Park.
Green Park.